What's up, everybody? It's your boy mel.on.mars. Thank you so much for joining me today. As you can see, of course, I'm not by myself. I'm with Miss Greta Faye Ross. How you doing today?
I am well. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, we go way back, y'all. So,
yeah, we do.
This ain't a new thing, but what is new, she has a wonderful book entitled The Struggle Was Real Until.
Yes, yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write this book?
Well, what really inspired me to write the book was I always had this drive to want people to be educated.
Right.
And so finance was always my thing. So I had the drive to write the book because I wanted people to understand that your future is predictable. It depends on the plan that you come up with, the strategy that you come up with in order to be able to have the success that you're looking for financially.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's incredible there, but let's get to a little bit of detail of the book. I have had the pleasure to read it, so it's incredible. But one thing that fascinated me was the story you told about your grandparents.
Yes, yes.
So amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
Talk about a little bit, because they went through slavery.
Yes, they did.
So tell us about the upbringing with you said you had all males in the house.
Yes, I did. I was raised with all boys. My mom moved to Boston, and so we stayed with my grandparents, and they were, elderly people. I mean, because they were slaves. Right. So, but they came out of slavery with nothing. And what I didn't realize up until probably recently, when I was doing this self-discovery thing, was that all that they went through to get to where they were. That was the part that I was most impressed with, because they came from nothing, but yet they built something and they left a legacy for the family.
Right.
That's incredible. So yeah, it was just so awesome to watch. It was me, my brother, and my cousins, all boys. So I kind of fit in because I kind of grew up as a tomboy. I ran track in high school and things of that nature. But but I love growing up with the guys. All the boys in the neighborhood. Basketball, football, baseball. Right. So it was such a joy to be able to grow up with boys, and I didn't have that whole girl thing going on. Which was cool. I was okay with that.
Yeah,
but it was good. Yeah.
It was one particular thing that you talked about with your grandparents that really stuck out to me was when they said your name is everything.
Yes.
Because I grew up in an era, I'm born in 87, but I remember my great-grandfather, my grandfather, because I'm the oldest, my first name, the fifth oldest in my family. Okay. And one more thing is I always say, don't mess up my name.
That's right.
What happened to that in our culture? What happened to the value of your name?
Well, you know what? I really think it comes down to one thing, and that's character. Yeah. I look at my grandparents and I see how much character they had, because character is attached to so many things, so many other things like loyalty and faithfulness and dedication and faith, just being one whole person. Right. And I think that people don't have the character, so their name doesn't really carry any weight. But my grandparents taught me that your name is everything. Yeah. Your name can, when it's attached to character, will get you into places that ordinary things won't be able to do for you.
Absolutely.
I was able to watch them as a child, to be able to pick up the phone and say, my grandmother's name was Ollarina, they called her Ollie, and she says, well, we need a car for our grandkids, so we're gonna come down to the lot and pick. They says, well, Miss Ollie, just come on down, we'll get the financing all ready for you. Then she went down and just had to sign the papers on her name. On her name. Wow. And she taught us the value of our name, so that way we would know that can get you into a lot of doors.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of doors.
Well, that's incredible. That's definitely incredible. And I don't want to get too much away, but it was a particular story that really had me laughing. Can you talk about the clothesline story?
That was something, and when she said, I'll never forget it, and she was right. My grandmother was a very, very particular person. She had her standards, very, very high standards. She was never in the military, so I don't know where all this came from. I guess it just came from being a slave and having to keep their house a certain way. So we had a clothesline on the back, and then we had a clothesline outside. So I had 3 lines on the back porch. So I had hung up some clothes one day and hung one garment out of order. I didn't think anything of it because I was trying to get outside to play. And she didn't even correct me right then. Right. She waited till 2 o'clock in the morning, woke me up, made me come downstairs and take all of the clothes down and hang all of them back up again.
Oh my God.
So when she said that to me, I'm looking at her like, okay, the clothes are dry. Right. Why would I take them down and hang them back up again? But she made me take them down and hang them up and said, you'll never forget this. She said, because there's an order to things.
That's right.
But what I didn't realize is that she was teaching me principles.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Right.
You know, and she always taught us things in parables.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
so that story would always be like my saving grace story, because it taught me so much about character.
Yes. Some kids these days take that as torture. And
yeah, well, you know, you are so right. Because when I tell my grandsons, "Can you come over here and do this?" But me, okay, that don't require a response. Exactly. You know, because in our day we couldn't just to even have the look on our face like we wanted to say something.
No doubt.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely. So then you transition from high school, graduate high school, you went to the Army.
Yes.
And let me get this right. For the ADA, Air Defense Artillery.
Yes, sir.
So tell me what it must have been like. I mean, my mind went a whole lot of places. What was it like for a black woman in the Army in the late 70s, early 80s? I mean, that must have been crazy.
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, you know, people ask me that all the time, but I was actually the only African-American female downrange that did the job that I did.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I never even thought anything about it. You know what I'm saying? It was just my job, you know? But I was honored and I was so blessed because, you know, my first sergeant and the company commander, you know, I could go in, you know, civilian clothes and, you know, but the adrenaline part of that was, you know, it was like a video game that the kids play now. It's like, you know, I had to track the missile, you know. It was so exciting. I don't even know why I picked it. You know, they just said, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to do something different where there's not a lot of females and I can just go there and just do my thing, you know. And it was great. I loved it. You know, I did. It was so awesome. I got a chance to go to Europe, but as a civilian, fell in love and didn't want to actually come back. But just the whole atmosphere of the military was good for me at that time, because I grew up in a disciplined household. What I realized was I had to maintain that discipline, because if I didn't, I knew that, knowing me, I would have been out there. So I said the military is going to be the best thing to make sure that I have that structure and that discipline in my life. So in Air Defense Artillery, it just sounded so cool, you know. It just sounded cool, you know. It's like, you know, when people say, well, what do you do? It's like, oh, I work with missiles. It's like, what? You know, I get a real cool response when I talk to people about that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So what we found so often in the book is you took a lot of leaps of faith.
Oh, yes.
A whole lot of leaps of faith.
Yes.
But it's a lot. But I want to talk about one in particular.
Okay.
Your leap of faith to Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Because it seemed like that was extreme. I mean, you say, I think, what, $200 came?
By the time we got here, we had $200 in our pocket, you know. I had come to Dallas for a conference, and by the time I got back home, I just felt so compelled that this is where I was supposed to be. And I didn't have no family, didn't know anybody here. My daughter and I, we packed up our stuff. We gave away everything we owned. I didn't bring anything other than our clothes, a TV and a VCR at the time, and that was it. You know, gave away all our furniture and packed up the car and came to Dallas. By the time we got here, I had $200, didn't have no job, didn't have nowhere to live, and I said, you know what, I can make this work. And so I ended up getting a job, you know, stayed at a hotel, you know, we kind of, you know, ate off the little dollar menu, whatever that was at the time. And we just made it work, you know, and it was hard, I think, for her, but thank goodness I only had the one child that I had to, you know, concern myself with. But it was definitely a struggle in the beginning. I got the job, kind of worked my way through there, but it was definitely a leap of faith. Definitely blind. I came into this totally blind. Didn't, you know, I really didn't even have a plan. I just said I'm going to Dallas. You know, and I just said, God, I'm just going to trust that whatever you have, you're going to open up doors. And he started opening up doors.
That's so incredible. That's so incredible. It takes a lot. And man, it's just like, I mean, to be successful, honestly, at some point you do have to take that leap, right? Yeah,
you do. You do. I mean, and I always believe so much in myself that it's like, you know, well, why not? You know, and even my family members, well, why are you going to Dallas? It's like, you don't even know nobody. That's like, but it's okay. You know, I'll be fine, you know. And my grandfather said, oh, that girl going to be fine, honey. Y'all ain't got to worry about her.
Absolutely. Well, I've seen so many principles and so many things, so many principles of purpose, actually. That you notice, and I want to go a couple of those. It's okay with you?
Okay, sure.
The first one, your purpose is your work. Could you talk about that one a little bit?
Well, you know, I think that where we fall short as people, as human beings, as part of humanity, is that we don't know what our purpose is.
Right.
We don't know that we even have a purpose. Our purpose is as individual as our fingerprint. When God created us, He only created us to be able to do what He called us to do in this earth.
Yeah.
Okay? Can nobody else on this planet do what God called me to do? Nobody. That's why He created me.
Right.
Now, if you think about this, in a woman's egg, there's probably like 500,000. In a man's sperm, excuse me, there's probably like 500,000 just swimming around.
Right.
But then it hits this one particular egg, just one. And God orchestrated it that way. He says, you, Otis, you, out of all those thousands, He chose you. You know why? Because He has a purpose for you. So with that purpose, you have to work, okay? Not a job, but work your purpose, okay?
Right.
Because that's why He put us here.
That's right.
For our purpose. Exactly. Because our purpose glorifies Him.
That's right.
And if we walk in our purpose and do what we've been called to do on our purpose, then everybody benefits from that. Everybody does. Right. It's not just you. And God He's not the only one that gets the glory. He gets the glory because everybody that comes in contact with you is blessed by you walking in your purpose.
Right.
And that's why it's so important that we understand that we all have a purpose is as unique as our fingerprint.
Right.
That nobody else can do what we've been called to do. Nobody.
Right. That's incredible. That is so true. The next one, the aha moment.
Oh. You know, it was a lot of self-discovery in that aha moment, because there was a lot of things that I was taught as a child that was really about principle, but because I didn't know it was about principle and purpose, I didn't know that because society taught me something different. And I believe what society taught me.
Right.
And even though I was raised by my grandparents and I saw they demonstrated purpose, they demonstrated principle, they demonstrated, they didn't just talk about it, they showed me. But because the world showed me something different, I started being shaped and made and molded by the world system.
Right.
And I got away from the principles. So when I discovered that everything that I was taught as a child was what I needed to be walking in and working on, then that was my aha moment. It's like, I have been struggling all these years. For 60 years I've been struggling because I didn't realize that I had a unique purpose.
Right.
That God purposed me. He did. I have nothing to do with that. He said, I need Greta Faye Ross on the planet. Yeah. Because I have something that she has to do. And only she can do it.
That's right. Absolutely.
So that was when I discovered the purpose and the principles. That was my aha moment. I was like, man, I've been struggling all these years and didn't really, I mean, yeah, I went to church and yeah, I hear the word and, you know, I'm the head and not the tail, but nobody taught me how to be the head. Nobody taught me how not to be the tail.
That's right.
You know, but what I learned as a child was these principles work. If you take these principles and you apply them as simple as they are, because again, I was shown, I was taught, not preached that, I was taught the principles. But again, because I went on the path of the world and their system. See, it's really all about the system, you know. But but God only operates on principles. That's His system.
That's right.
That's the only principle. That's the only system He operates on is principles.
Exactly.
And if we operate in that, then how can we not have success?
Yeah, that's so true.
Guaranteed.
Absolutely. And I'm just gonna get you one more. I have a whole bunch more. I'm just gonna say one more. Okay, you're 50, and. Like I just imagine you saying and
right. You know, because people think that because they're 50 plus that they'll say, oh, it's too late for me. You know, I can't, you know, financially I would love to be able to be in a better position. You know, I want to retire in a few years, you know, but I'm just not in a position to do that.
Right.
And the reason why most people aren't able to do that is because they didn't plan for that. They didn't plan to be able to do that. Right. You have to plan.
That's right.
Because if you don't, then it's not possible to get there. Right. That's the reason why I always say to people, your future is predictable.
Right.
You have to follow the principles. So if you start while you're young, then of course you can do it when you get 50. Right. However, if you're 50 plus, you want to know how can you do that.
Right.
Okay, so you have a few years left before you want to retire. You want to be able to travel or do whatever it is that you want to do during retirement. You have to be aggressive with whatever investments that you make. Now, I don't believe in, this is just me personally. Me personally, I don't do the stock market thing. I don't, advocate any product that, for people going to lose their money. Because to me, it's just too risky. I believe people work too hard to lose their money. To which is own. If that's what you want, I'll be happy to refer you to somebody, but that's just not where I see where people should invest their money. I think that they should invest their money where they can get a good return, that regardless of what the market does, if they'll stay steady, they'll grow when the market grows, but they'll stay steady. But most people don't know what type of vehicle to be able to use to be able to do that when they're 50 plus. So what I try to do is I try to educate them and say, you know what, here's a vehicle that you can use even at 50 plus to be able to utilize this tool so that you can do whatever you want to do whenever you get ready to retire. However, you do have to be aggressive with this, only because you didn't start when you were young. And because you didn't start when you were young, now you have to take the time to be aggressive. And yeah, you have to make sacrifices. You're not going to be able to go out and eat as often. You're going to have to tighten up when it comes to your savings. You're not going to have to be able to go out and get your nails done or your hair done as often as you want. But if you want to be comfortable in the next 15 to 20 years, then that's the sacrifice that you have to make. But it's going to take that. That's what it's going to take, especially if you're 50 and older. Because again, when you were younger, you didn't take the opportunity to realize that you're going to get older. And most people don't realize that you can outlive your money. I mean, it's very possible to outlive your money, but most of the time people struggle, and even now they live paycheck to paycheck. So when you talk about retiring, it terrifies a lot of people because they're not ready. They're just not ready. But they need to be able to learn how to be prepared even at 50, because there's a way to be prepared even at 50.
That's so true.
So all they have to do is just let me know. Hey, I'll be happy to give you all the tips and give you point you in the right direction on what you need to do and how to get there. Absolutely.
We're going to talk about that consultation you talked about too earlier. But chapter 4, you had the section of save money, take care of your health.
Yes.
Now, you said take your health serious.
Yes.
Now, it's not the same as Faye that I knew.
You're right, about 237 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you, I wrote it a certain way, I want to say it, so I don't like offending people. What went into your fitness journey?
Well, the weight came from stress, and I think that people need to understand what that trigger is for you in reference to your weight.
Absolutely.
So once I eliminated the stress out of my life, and it was a job, I was just, I had the type of job where I didn't eat, I didn't sleep for days on end, because I worked with a bunch of investors around the world. If they were in Switzerland, then I had to be it when Switzerland was up. If it was in China, then I had to be it when they were up. So it caused me to have to deal with not sleeping and time going by and not eating, and my metabolism slowed down so much that it just wasn't burning anything. So the next thing I knew, I'm like 237 pounds. My cholesterol was out of whack. I mean, it was just a mess. I didn't actually develop like high blood pressure or diabetes or anything. I was on the verge of it though. I had acid reflux so bad that I had to sit up and sleep. And it was like, okay, enough already, And so I went to the doctor, and she says, your cholesterol is so high that you could literally have a stroke or heart attack at any time. And that scared me, because I'm like, why should I die premature death because of something that I can change? So I told her, she wanted to give me this medication. I said, you know what? First of all, I don't do medication. I said, really what I need to do is just lose some weight. I said I need to cure the problem and not put a Band-Aid on it. I didn't giving me medication is going to put a Band-Aid on it. It's not going to make me lose weight, because now the acid reflux is gone. I feel like I'm cool, and I'm really not. And so then she wanted to give me medication for the cholesterol. I'm like, no, if I change my diet, I start exercising, that's going to get my cholesterol down. I need to do this so that I can cure the problem and not mask it. So I just started walking, and I walked every day probably for like 8 or 9 months, and then I started weight training and stuff. But the weight has been off for about 5 years. And I still go to the gym, more so now than what I used to. I'm in there like every day. So I get on Facebook and I have my little bragging rights because I just did my little 90-day challenge. But it was really because people need to understand, when you go to the doctor, you pay a copay. You're paying money for insurance. If you're going to go to the doctor, go for a wellness checkup, find out what there is, what your numbers are, and work on that. Exactly. Improve that. Don't keep going to the doctor to get medication, because now you got to pay for the medication. Then you get a side effect from the medication. Then you got to take something else. Right. You know what I'm saying? And one thing just keeps leading to another, and then there's no end to it. You know. So just take care of yourself. Gym membership, $10.
Exactly.
I mean, anybody can afford $10. You know, and the time and the dedication to say, you know what, my health is worth this. Yep. Love yourself enough to take care of yourself. Love your family enough to say, I want to be around for my children and my grandchildren. Yes. You gotta love yourself enough to be able to say that. No doubt. You know, so that was my fitness journey. You know, it was like I could die or I can live. Yeah. I chose to live.
That's right. And I just being transparent, that hit home for me for sure.
Yeah.
I just started my weight loss journey. Good. 2 weeks ago, but it hit home because I'm one. I've never liked working out in front of people. So that's always my excuse. Right. But then I said, okay. See, people say you can work out by yourself or go late night. Yeah. Well, I don't want to pay the money. Well, it's $10. Yeah. You know, like you said in the book, it's $10.
That's right. That's right.
Me and my wife went last night. Got to do it. You know.
But it's a journey, and you have to realize that it is a journey. No doubt. It's not something that you're just gonna just go in and just get done. You know, take the time, wait and see the results. You know, just realize that it took time for you to get that weight on. Yeah. It's gonna take time for you to get it off. Absolutely. You know, because 237 pounds. I mean, I'm half that size now. That's you know, awesome. and I decided that, you know what, I just want to live, and I want to be the best at, you know, being who I am, you know, and I like being able to look good, you know. I'll go in the store, like if I don't have on a jacket, and people were staring at me. Sometimes I don't even realize it, and I'll be like, what are they looking at? And I was like, oh, okay. Then I realized, okay, no problem. You know, it's cool, you know. Yeah. But, you know, and because I'm, it's like a part of my life now, you know, to change your eating habits, because 70% of this is of health, of your lifestyle changes is what you eat. Absolutely. You know. That's so true. Yeah. So the other aspect, and we almost finished here. The other aspect is the saving money aspect. So you had a lot of integral things you said about saving money. Yes. Could you elaborate on that a little bit, or tell people about it? Well, you know what? I think what happens is that I think that the basic thing, basic is that if you sat down and you wrote down every single thing that you have coming into your house, whether it's child support, your paycheck, everything. Right. And then you write down every single thing that's going out, cell phone, everything, regardless of how small it is. Right. Okay, whether it's a prescription drug, whatever it is, write everything down. Look at what you wrote down compared to what you're bringing in. Once you look at that, then you say, what's left over from everything that's been paid out to what you have, to what you're bringing in? What's left over? Right. What are you doing with that that's left over? Yeah. Most people can't even tell you. I mean, you can go somewhere and spend $20 like it's not nothing. Because to me, 20 is like the new one. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. It's not even like a $20 bill. It's like $1. Exactly. You know, and people talk about $100 is like $10. It doesn't do anything. Yep. So you have to be really cautious of, you know, how you're spending your money, so that way you'll be able to save your money. But if you don't be aware of your spending habits, you know, like this right here. Excuse me. See this? Yep. People come here and they spend money on a simple little Frappuccino. So I don't do Frappuccino. This is my first one in years. Okay, I'm just saying. And I was, you know, he said, "You want a treat?" Yes. It was a treat. It was a treat. So I was like, "Of course." But you know, you'll be surprised. You can spend $30 in a week. That's right. Eating out, you know, curve some things. Start saying, you know what, hey, instead of going to get my hair done, learn how to do your own hair. Watch your stylist, how she's doing your hair. Yeah. Do your hair. Honey, I cut my hair this morning. Okay. Now somebody else did do the size, but I did. Yeah. But you know why? Because there was a time as an entrepreneur, I could not afford to go and get my hair done. That's right. But I couldn't look raggedy either. So it's like, you know what? I had to learn how to do it. Right. So even though you may have the money to be able to go and get it done, learn how to do some things yourself so you can save that money and put it away. Right. Not to go out here and, you know, spend it on, you know, stuff, you know, Nikes and Air Jordans and all that kind of stuff, whatever they got out these days, you know, because I'm not into, you know, because I'm a thrifter, honey. Everything, I thrift shop on everything, you know, because I want to save the money. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I can go and get name brand somewhere else cheaper, then why not? Exactly. There's nothing wrong. There ain't no shame in my game. Right. You know, but all at the same time, we have to be aware of what we're spending out, what's being spent, and what's coming in. Right. Because most of us are living above our means. That's so true. You got a $500 a month car payment, that's not necessary. I mean, yeah, you want to look good, but guess what? Get something that's doable.
Yep.
Keep it clean. Keep it, clean, and go with that until you can do something better. You don't. That's not even necessary in your financial life. Right. I mean, if you're trying to get somewhere, you know what I mean. So, but I think that everybody should just take basic. That's just basic. You can write down everything that's going out and everything that's coming in, and then that way you can see it's like, oh, I got $1,300 a month. Where is it going?
Right.
You can't even label it. You have no idea.
That's so true.
That's why you have to. What was this receipt? I spent $10. What $10? Where'd it go? Because I need to know.
Right.
I want to keep a track of it.
Exactly.
So I've always been that way. But I think that if everybody becomes more cautious of what it is that they're spending, and then take what they're spending unnecessarily and save it,
right,
they'll be surprised what they would have.
Absolutely.
They would be really surprised. You'll be like, Dad, I saved $1,300.
Right.
And then guess what? It's gonna start feeling good. Like going to the gym, you start seeing results, you start feeling good. You're like, shoot, I can do some more of this. I'm gonna make it rain up in here. You know what I mean? Then you'll have that drive because you're seeing the results.
Right.
So I think that just being very cautious of what you're spending and what's coming in, what's going out.
Absolutely, that's so important. So you offer the 30-minute consultation.
Yes.
Can you tell people that may be interested in that how they can get in contact with you or what's all involved with that?
Yes. For the people who are, who really want to get an understanding of, what it is that the direction that they want to go with their finances, whether it's retirement, buying a home, children's education, or just planning in the event that something does happen.
Right.
I would love to be able to sit down and kind of give them some direction on that.
Right.
At least give them options on what it is that they can do.
Right.
You can give me a call. You can reach out to me at my website. And contact me there. I'll be happy to respond, set up a time, and then we can just go from there. You can tell me a little bit about what it is, what your goals are, and I'll help you to accomplish that. And if it's something that you want to continue, I'll be more than happy to assist you with that as well. My website is jbassstrategies.life.
Awesome.
That's jbassstrategies.life.
Awesome. I'll be sure to put that in there as well for you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm going to give you the last word. Anything you want to tell everybody out there, you got the floor. Anything we haven't covered you want to express, you definitely can.
I really appreciate the time. Let me just say that. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to come and share. I was sharing with my daughter that I was going to be doing some segments on Facebook, which I'm probably going to go ahead and get started on that today. This really inspired me to go ahead and get started with that.
Awesome.
The one thing that I definitely want to stress is know that you have a purpose in life. That is the most important thing, to know that you have a purpose. You would not be here if you did not have a purpose. Understand that. And with the purpose, find out principles. The principles is going to help you to be able to walk in that purpose. Because along with the principles, you're going to start seeing yourself. You're going to start seeing your own character. And once you see that, then you'll realize what it is that you need to do in your life so that you can become a better human being, to be able to pass that on to somebody else. Because it's really about living a kingdom life.
Absolutely.
Because if we walk in our purpose and we can live that. The one thing that I love that Jesus said is for us to pray that we would have heaven on earth. I have been wanting to see that for us as humans for so long. But we have to know what our purpose is, and we have to be able to walk in the principles in order to be able to see that happen.
Right.
So know that you have a purpose. Know that the principles will get you to walking in those purposes that you have in your life. Because when you have that purpose, that passion, and the principles, you will receive the promises.
That's right. That's incredible.
So your success is predictable.
Yes, ma'am.
You got a lot of P's there. Success is predictable. It's predictable. How could it not be?
Right.
How could it not be?
Absolutely.
But I thank you again for the time.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Guys, the struggle was real.
Yes.
Until. Guys, I'm going to post how we can find this book. Guys, it's incredible. It's an ebook mostly, right?
Yes, it is. It is an ebook.
Okay, great. So
you can also get that on my website as well.
On the website. Well,
yes.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It's your boy mel.on.mars, and as always, let's grow.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you don't know already, my name is mel.on.mars, and Mars stands for music, athletics, relationship, and spirituality. Every Sunday I do a spirituality video. Every Tuesday, I release an athletics video. Every Wednesday, I release a relationship video. And every Thursday, I release a music topic video. Guys, you don't want to miss this. This thing is growing more and more every single day. And I don't want you to miss anything. I want you to become one of my subscribers. For my subscribers, I affectionately call them the universe. Why the universe? Well, the word universe is defined as all existing matter and space considered as one whole. And that's what I want. I want all my subscribers, whether you share my opinions, you share my beliefs, or you disagree with them, I want you to be a part of this so we can have this open dialogue and hopefully we all can become better. Whether you educating me, I'm educating you. Let's do this thing together and let's have a good time. On this journey with me, guys, you will have some laughter, you may shed some tears, you're going to be educated, but all in all, you will be definitely entertained. There's a couple things I need you to do before you exit out this video. First, in a couple seconds, you're going to see my chubby face pop up right here. Once you see that, click it. And when you click it, it's going to allow you to subscribe to my channel. Secondly, right next to that, you're going to see an option with a bell. That bell will allow you to have notifications come up every time I have a video so I can get your instant reaction. And lastly, you're going to also see a video that's perfectly for you come up in this corner. Click that video. If you haven't seen it already, check it out. Let me hear what you guys say about it. Guys, this thing is growing and growing every single day, and I only can grow even more based on your support. So I need you guys to like my videos, share it with your friends, comment, let me hear what you guys say about these topics. I know I talk a lot of crap, I know I talk about a lot of controversial topics, but don't be afraid to comment on it, don't be afraid to say your true opinion. I want to hear that. Again, this is a universe. I want you guys to be a part of it. I want all of our collective thoughts to come together and create something better and a change for this world. It's your boy Mel on Mars. I love you and let's grow. Peace.